When the screenshot of a mail from IIM Kashipur's Placecom goes out in the media and everyone talks about that, hey, probably IIM Kashipur is forcing its students to opt out of the placement process, obviously there's going to be a lot of noise and a lot of words about that. Hey, why is this happening? Is a B school like IIM Kashipur not able to place its students? And therefore, it becomes extremely important for us to talk about it, because you are probably preparing for your CAT in 2025, or you're already entering your B school this week. It's very important for you to go there with the right mind to know what exactly you need to know about all of this. Now, while I'll not be speaking the facts about it because you would be able to read it elsewhere, the point is, my objective is to help you understand how you need to think about this and what do you need to do in order to ensure that you're not stuck in such a position where probably you're unplaced towards the end of the batch, and what all things you need to do. Hi, I'm Darpan Saxena, an MBA graduate from IIM Udaipur. I have been the MBA Product Head at Career Launcher. I'm the founder of Freedom, and I help MBA students create fulfilling careers without depending on. There are three basic things which you need to know in this. Probably what I'd do is that I'd start off with what exactly is the cause of this panic and fear. And we know this, that all of this started when a middle IIM such as IIM Kashipur, although it gets its placement report audited and everything, and I've spoken about it, that how good this is as a practice for a B school to get its placement report audited. The fact is that screenshot came out and there were tweets and Instagram posts and so many things about it. यार ये क्या हो रहा है, unplaced है, इतने सारे unplaced, and they've been asked to opt out, and then they came out with a clarification of sorts that that while we have asked them to unplace so that we can get the placements report audited, the fact is that we'll keep on helping them. How much of this makes sense? Does it make sense? It makes no sense. And the biggest question is, if you're planning to study for CAT, if you're already studying for CAT for this year, you need to, probably you're asking yourself, is it even worth it? Is it even worth it to be able to, for me to study for CAT? Because if I'm not able to get to one of the top tier, the topmost tier, say probably in Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Calcutta, FMS, XLRI, LK, does it make sense for me to go and pursue MBA? There are three players involved in this. See, you need to see it from all angles. It's not just about you, it's not just about that B school, it's also about the corporates. But is it so? We'll find that out. See, the first thing is, I'll talk about the corporate because there's not much which they can do. The fact is, 5 things you need to know about them. The first one is very clear. They are a mirror of the market. They're the mirror of the economy, which means they hire when they can, when they need it. No corporate will not hire when they need it. The second thing which you need to know is that it's obvious. Whenever there's a hiring slowdown, there is a reason behind. Either that organization standalone is not doing well, or the economy is not doing well, or if they're a startup which is being funded, they're not getting funded well. That's that. Then the third thing, another angle which you need to know to this is the CTC angle. The CTC, whether they say it's 40 lakhs, 50 lakhs, it is infused with so many variables inside that. Even the water which you are being served at their office is being included in the cost to the organization. Everything, all of the training programs, the travel, whatever you are doing at their office is being accounted for in some way or the other. CTC is always going to be inflated in the sense that it will have a lot of variables. So when a corporate guy comes and says to you that, hey, I have a 40 lakhs, it's not 40 divided by 12. It's not even 40 divided by 12 minus the taxes. It's much lower. A safe assumption to make is 50% of it is what is going to be your in hand, that is pre-tax. That's what you need to understand. Which means what? Which means that we need to get back to this thought that, hey, the top corporates will hire talent when they need, but when it's an economic slowdown, when they're not doing well, where they don't want to hire, there are going to be fewer slots, very few slots. And these few slots, where would they go? We'll talk about that. The fifth point is no B school. And when I'm saying no B school, I'm including an IIM Ahmedabad, I'm Bangalore, I'm Calcutta, XLRI, SP Gen, FMS into this. No B school can force a corporate to come and hire. They can't. Nobody can. Which means what? Which means that probably when you're selecting a B school, you probably need to make a safer choice. But just because I said that, hey, a B school even that great can't force a corporate for them to come to the campus and recruit, does that mean MBA makes no sense? No, because from this point now you need to see what the B schools are doing and what is it that they need to do more. The first problem which a B schools have is that except for these top tier B schools, a few of them which I've named, which is Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Calcutta, Kozhikode, Lucknow, FMS, XLRI, SP Gen, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 more. Let's not talk about these because these still manage to do something really well for their students even when the economy is not doing good, even when the companies are not doing good. They do that. Point is that some mid-tier B schools really end up, and I'm using this word, yes, they end up faking their numbers or they hide real data. A case in point is IIM Kashipur. So while IIM Kashipur should be appreciated, I would still say this, among the middle IIMs, it's only IIM Udaipur and IIM Kashipur who get their placements report audited. IIM Udaipur has been getting its placement reports audited from day one. So has been IIM Kashipur. Problem is this, the problem starts here when in this latest episode of IIM Kashipur, we understood that bhaiya problem ye hai that they force their students to opt out soon so that they can send that clean data to their auditors and get it audited. So while the numbers are audited, we now know that okay, that is not the full universe of students which they have, which is a problem. So no amount of clarifications in that hey, we asked that while we ask them to opt out for the sake of the audit, but we still keep on supporting them. No. But again, I'd also see it from a different perspective when I'll be speaking about what you need to do about this. And the third problem is very simple. Most other B schools, they don't even get their placements report audited. Some B schools, if you've seen my video on the rankings of the IIMs, some B schools, including some IIMs, don't even show what their average salary was at that. Secondly, some B schools don't give a domain-wise breakup, so nobody would ever know that okay, how much salary goes for which particular domain. That's a problem. Again, a B school is not marketing itself on the salary. What you as a student needs to know is कि कोई B school कोई इश्तेहार दे के अच्छे B schools, obviously a top tier B schools, because we're talking about the likes of IIM Kashipur and all that. These B schools are not going out printing ads and doing ads and saying that hey, our average placement is this, hence come. No, they've never done that. It's you who is looking at those numbers. But when a B school knows that yes, these numbers are looked at, and because it's a big investment, I think it makes very much sense for a B school to follow what 90% other B schools do, that they give data salary breakup domain wise, lowest salary, highest salary, everything. You should read the placement reports of IIM Udaipur, IIM Ahmedabad, because of what level of detail they go into. It is important because this is supposed to be the final degree which the student has to go through, so it makes absolute sense. करना चाहिए. अब आते हैं स्टूडेंट्स पे, बहुत जरूरी है. अभी तक अगर ध्यान नहीं दिया था, अब ध्यान दे दो, because this from here on I would want to speak to you that what is it that you are doing and what is it that you need to do. Now the first thing which you need to know is that hey, this is you're walking in with this mindset, and even when you're preparing for CAT right now, this is the mindset which you have, that hey, placement is guaranteed. It's almost as if I'm paying that 20 lakhs as a fees to get a placement, and when I don't get the placement, I feel cheated about it, that hey, I paid for it, where is my placement? Now I have a quick question to you. When you're very young, when you're 4 or 5 years old and you get enrolled into a school, okay, I got enrolled into DPS. Now when I was getting enrolled into DPS, and by the end of my schooling, if after class 12 I was not able to find a very good engineering institute, I would not go back to my school and say that hey, you failed because I was not able to do well after the school. No. Would you go back to your school and say that hey, I could not get into a good UG college because of you? Nobody does that, and we pay lakhs of rupees in fees annually to schools for 14 years. How does that happen? Because that association has not yet been established, that hey, if you're paying 14 lakhs or 12 lakhs or 10 lakhs or 9 lakhs to my school, I'm supposed to get a good UG program from it. Why don't you do that? You're paying probably an equal or a much bigger sum to school, or at least you're paying more in terms of the time you're spending there. And in fact, a school should be more responsible as per that logic, because that school is shaping you up from your childhood. So why is it that you do not have the similar expectations that hey, if I'm paying the fees to a school, that should ensure that the immediate outcome from the school is that hey, I should be able to clear a JE, a NEET, a IP MAT, because hey, at the end of the day, the syllabus of all of these exams, JE, NEET, IP MAT, CUET, is what I've been learning in class 9, 10th, 11th, 12th. Please understand, because that's a very fair thing to think about, that hey, they're not directly responsible. A lot of things depend on me. I think this is the crux what you need to, because the second thing is what you need to know is that a placement is earned. It's not delivered as a promise. No B school can deliver you placement knowing that hey, this guy would do this much in our B school and hence he deserves or she deserves a placement of this much of this domain. No, nothing like that. They are not promising you placement. Especially these top tier B schools are not even advertising themselves basis their placements. Yes, there are certain very lower tier B schools like tier 5, tier 6, tier 7, tier 8 who give out ads and say that hey, our average salary is like 15 lakh or 10 lakh or 9 lakh or 8 lakh, please join us. There are those kind of B schools, but these are not the ones we're talking about. So where's the problem? The third thing which you need to know is that hey, you blame the B school, but did you build the skills? Because hey, this is the point which you need to keep in your mind right now if you're entering your B schools. If you're walking in with the entitled mindset that hey, I deserve a placement, then my dear friend, you can only deserve an on-campus placement if you are capable to get an off-campus placement. And I'm removing the factors that hey, market is difficult, off-campus to milti nahi hai, wo sab nahi, aisa nahi hai. I'll tell you more about it. But the point which I'm trying to make is that if somebody won't hire you when you're in the market, devoid of your B school, without your B school, how does that make you think that okay, yes, I can get hired? There's a second point to that. When I say this to a second year B school student that hey, probably you should improve your skills, and because I as a brand help MBA students create fulfilling careers without depending on placements, I say to them that hey, in the second year probably you should scope for off campus placements, and they say this thing to me, but sir, to skills nahi aate theek se, or how can we go and find it off campus? It is so hard to find off campus. I don't think anybody. Then what happens in 2 weeks of time when the placement drives happen, and when if you're not getting placed in that placement drive, you feel so sad about it? What changes in that 1 week or 2 weeks or 4 weeks or maybe 6 months? Absolutely nothing. Probably it's entitled. That's that. And moving on, the fourth and final point is that, hey, you blame the B school, but again, the point is, was placement even a guarantee? Had IIM Kashipur ever said that placement is a guarantee? What you need to understand from this video is, what you need to understand from this video is that I'm not defending an IIM Kashipur. I think it's a very bad practice to get students to opt out just to get your reports audited. Makes no sense. So while I have been appreciating some of these B schools that, hey, they get their placement report audited, it now to me it makes no sense, because if you're getting them audited by removing students who are not even placed, that's a problem. I think that's a very big problem. But the point is that, was placement even a guarantee? When you're joining a school when you're 4 or 5 years of age, was you cracking a JEE, NEET, CUET, IP MAT, SAT maybe, was all of these exam a guarantee? Why aren't you taking a guarantee at that point of time? That's my moot point probably of this entire video. That please save yourself from your own mindset. I'm not defending the B school. I am supporting you and I'm preserving your mindset, because that's going to help you win. Finally, I'll say a few things. See, we are very clear about this, that the brutal problems are these: not economy alone, but the blind mindset that MBA means auto job, mid-tier B schools. Again, I had said here itself, if you have seen this point, that let's not speak about ABCs and LKIs of the world, because these B schools, when a corporate has to hire, but they have to hire less, but they have to hire good, where do they go? They go to the best B schools like A, B, C, LKI, maybe even IIMU, because at IIMU, Goldman Sachs and Accenture Strategy have been there always. They come irrespective of whatever. But the fact is that mid-tier B schools can't shield everyone when hiring dips, because again, it stitches back to that same point that, hey, no B school can force a corporate that yes, you must hire. You as a student wake up too late to this reality. You wake up too late from your entitlement that, hey, probably we should do something for ourselves, and it's not wrong, because no B school is promising us placement. Which B school is actually stopping us from going off campus? We are stopping ourselves that, hey, you know what, that the only way out of this B school is through this gate of placements. No, you can go anywhere. Probably you can build a startup of your own, and let's talk about that in one of my subsequent videos as well. If you want me to speak about all of these things, how to get off campus, how to build something of your own, probably drop your comments below this video. And if there's any other problem which you're having with whatever I'm saying, come down there and challenge me. I'm not saying that, hey, come there and talk good things about me. No, you come and you say to me that this was shit. But the point is, I want to challenge what you're thinking right now, because problem is your panic starts when you start to think that, hey, the college cheated me. Probably the prep was weak. Again, the right way to think is very simple. See MBA as a brand, as a place where you build your network, and see this as a 5-year multiplier. So while yes, your first job is extremely important, but that's not where it ends. In fact, that's not even where it starts. Probably your first switch could be an amazing. It's a 5-year game. Yes, you max out its advantage in the first. So see it like that. It's not a day zero jackpot. Except the fact that in down market there are gonna be problems, but your hustle needs to triple, and hustle means everything. Staying on top of the skills. Have you learned AI? Have you learned anything in AI? Does your resume speak anything about AI? If not, it's gonna be a very big problem. Hustle is not just about upskilling. Hustle is about outreach. How much outreach are you doing? If you're not doing outreach, then the best way to do it is that connect with me on a one-on-one call. There's a reason why I'm saying that. I want to understand your problem, that what exactly, where are you stuck? Or if you're feeling scared about this MBA scenario and probably you're just an aspirant, talk to me. Book the call and talk to me. You'll find the link of my TopMate account below. Just book it and talk to me, and let's speak about that. Hey, how can I prepare you such that you're not dependent on placements? How can we do that? I think that's going to be amazing. And obviously your prep starts from day one. Don't think that, hey, it's a second year thing which I'll do it. No, if you're an MBA aspirant, start from right now. Build your skills right now. I'll give you the roadmap. We'll discuss it. I'll personalize it for you. If you're just entering your B school, nothing like it. You're in the right mindset and the right stage, because that's what smart students do. They start solving cases in advance. Have you started? They practice mock interviews. Hey, hello, wait a minute. You are practicing mock interviews for your MBA admission interviews. What happens when you enter a B school? Why do you get laid back? Why nobody's practicing mock interviews for that? Why aren't you checking out with me that, hey, please take a mock interview for us? Again, book a call for that. Even if you're an aspirant, I'll take a job mock interview for all you know. Please research what is real in hand what is real in hand and what is CTC. Extremely important to know. Tap your seniors, your alumni. They're in corporates, especially in these good mid-tier and top-tier B schools. They're gonna help you. See, again, because the problem is there are hidden roles which you don't know about. They're not gonna come to a campus for 1 or 2 roles. But if somebody leaves mid-year, they need somebody to fill that gap. How does that happen? These are jobs which probably are never listed anywhere. But if you're on the top of their mind, and how would you be at the top of their mind? Because you cannot be at the top of the mind of everybody, every company, every industry? No. Because of which I would circle back to the first point, that you need to know which specialization you want to go for. Marketing, finance, HR, analytics, operations, what? Then within that, probably once you've done enough research, then get into the point of, okay, probably what are my top 5 or 6 or 10 companies? And then you try to remain at the top of the mind of those. How do you do that? The first step is find your specialization. How do you do that? Check out my course, How to Be School. There's a course inside of it called the MBA Specialization Selector. It is exactly for this. And then beyond that, let me help you. How do you build a strategy for that? Fifth thing is very clear. Build a CV story from term 1. CV does not happen in term 4 or term 5, obviously. That's not the point. And stay calm, because a good brand, a decent brand would save your long term. Short term में जो भी problem हो रही है या normal है. First job is not going to be the end all and be all of it. The thing is, MBA still pays. If the question was, does MBA still make sense for me? All of those things, MBA still pays, but laziness doesn't pay. So even if you were a lazy student at a top B school, won't pay. If you think that is the case, and if you think that, okay, you're one such, what are you doing at your end? Or how much have you outreach to a place commer to know what's the fact? That's the thing. And the last thing is, see, placement is not magic. It's your responsibility to make yourself really attractive for the job. That's that. I'll see you in another video. My objective for this video was very clear, that for me to give you the exact mindset which you need to know, because if you're preparing for CAT and if you're not feeling good about it, you'll not study well. If you're entering a B school and if you're not feeling good about your B school, you'll not do very well. You should feel great about it. If there's anything, let me know in the comments. Book a call with me. Let's talk about and let's go hustling. Thank you and goodbye.